Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, and today we're looking at the new free-to-play games that you need to play in early 2021. Now it's been a while since we last did an episode on this, so smash the like button if you're excited, and subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any new videos on free-to-play games. Quickly starting out, let's talk about Valorant, the tactical free-to-play first-person shooter by the creator of League of Legends, Riot Games. Valorant has gotten bigger and better since it released in mid-2020, and now Episode 2 Act 2 is finally here, where you can get your hands on a new agent called Astra and a new battle pass featuring a ton of weapon skins. On top of this, you can now queue with a wider group of friends for ranked matches, making it easier to play with your friends. Now this season is only going to last for about 2 months though, so make sure to complete the battle pass before April the 27th if you want all the rewards. With that said, if you guys like Valorant as much as I do and you want me to make some videos on it, tell me in the comments section below, and if we get enough comments, I might make a video or two. Artifact was Valve's attempt at competing in the collectible card game realm, going up against the Titan of Hearthstone. Despite it being a unique and enjoyable card game, Artifact suffered from pay to win, despite it being a game that you needed to pay for out of the box. So it comes as no surprise that Valve has stopped active development of Artifact and made it free to play. The game has been split into Classic and Foundry versions, Classic being the current game and Foundry being the Beta 2.0 version, which was a complete rework of Artifact. Now with Classic, the game is free for everyone to play. All players get every card for free and card packs can no longer be purchased. This in essence removes the biggest problem of the game, that being the pay to win aspect, which is kind of ironic. After this announcement, Classic's playbase has spiked to around 800 concurrent plays from its lows of around 30, so the game is definitely now playable and you'll find people online to queue up against, so go and check it out if you're interested. Now a game that I haven't talked about before is Vigor, a free-to-play online looter shooter by Bohemia Interactive. Now the concept of Vigor is fairly straightforward. You're dropped into post-apocalyptic Norway and the goal is to stay alive by surviving against other players in the harsh environment. It takes the classic survival concept but makes it a bit more accessible, which is great for fans of games like Escape from Tarkov or DayZ who find those games a bit more difficult to get into, and the third person perspective also helps as well. It's been out for a while, it's free to play, and content wise it's rather developed, and also it's been developed by industry veterans Bohemia Interactive, so you know there's some talent behind it. Now this game was originally developed for the Xbox One, but it's also now available on the Nintendo Switch, PS4 and PS5, but the elephant in the room though is if this game will be on the PC, and right now we sadly don't have any news. A free-to-play game that I've mentioned before but I'm now slightly addicted to is Vecter, the fast-paced runner shooter that has synthwave running through its veins. Vecter is an indie game with a simple goal: go as fast as possible and go as far as you can along the neon highway. The game has amazingly simple graphics that goes together perfectly with a sweet soundtrack, however you can also import your own music if you want. The game is easy to run, quick to play and just all round fun, so download it if you're interested and also to support the single developer that made this game. Next up, let's quickly go over the free games that Epic Games are offering up. Right now it's Wargame Red Hammer, which is a real-time strategy game worth $40 and it's free until March the 12th. After that it's Surviving Mars, a sci-fi city builder, and that's from the 12th to the 19th of March. Both are awesome games, so make sure to pick them up and also check in on Epic Games Launcher or this channel to keep you updated whenever new games come out for free on the Epic Games Store. Battle Royale MOBA games are becoming all the rage after the success of Eternal Return, so it makes sense that a new game called Royal Crown is entering the space to fight for who's king in this genre. The game features over 20 different champions who are divided into different classes: warrior, sniper, assassin, tank and so on, which fits in perfectly with the various game modes like squads, duos and solos, so you can really coordinate the type of champions you're picking with your teammates. Now a flaw with MOBAs is how long it takes to learn and also how long it takes to end matches, but with Royal Crown it's really easy to pick up and matches only take about 15 minutes max. There's a decent amount of depth though in the equipment, champions and overall gameplay, and that makes Royal Crown the perfect introduction to MOBA games if you've never played them before. Apex Legends, everyone's favourite battle royale shooter, is being taken to the next level as it's been launched on the Nintendo Switch on the 10th of March, which is huge given how big this game is. Apex will launch on the Switch with support for full cross-platform play, the latest seasonal content, and full feature parity with other versions of the game. This is going to bring a ton of players to the game and also add to the rapidly expanding free-to-play Switch library, which is all round awesome. Season 8 has also recently released, featuring a new legend, a rework of the main battle royale map, and a new weapon, so there's tons of content to get into when you download it on the Switch. Next up, let's talk about Enlisted, the squad-based, massively multiplayer shooter game whose aim is to reconstruct World War II battles, which is a very hefty goal. The game is being developed by Darkflow Studio and published by Gaijin Entertainment, who you may know as the publishers of War Thunder, which is another hugely popular World War II based game. Now, Enlisted is a game that combines infantry, ground vehicles, and aircrafts fighting together on the same World War II themed maps. Now, Enlisted is a game that was announced last year and is currently going through beta testing, and as of March the 2nd, a new update came out which really kicked things into the next gear. The first thing is that PlayStation 5 support is now live, so PS5 players can finally join in on the action. And the rest of the update entails a new campaign called Invasion of Normandy, new missions, new weapons, and new vehicles, so there's a lot there. It's a ton of content, and it's also a big step towards a live release of Enlisted, which will be on Xbox, PlayStation, and also PC. Now, from memory, the only game that really is in this sector right now is Heroes and Generals, and that game is plagued with pay to win and generally isn't a very good game. So Enlisted can really come in, just swipe everybody off their feet and be this really true, awesome MMO shooter that everybody has been waiting for. A little bit of news relating to an upcoming Steam release is about Alliance of Valiant Arms, otherwise known as AVA Online. Now, this game is like a classic 2010 military free-to-play first-person shooter along the lines of other games like Combat Arms, Crossfire, War Rock, and so on. And this game is still alive in 2021, and it's making a return to the Steam store in March. Despite its closure in the West, AVA Online continued to operate in both Korea and Japan, and now publishers NeoWiz are deciding to take the next step and republish this game in the West on Steam. Currently, this game is slated for a March the 31st release, however you can add it to your Steam wishlist so you can know exactly when it does go live. Spellforce Free Versus is a game that we covered in the top 10 free Steam games of 2021, link in the description below if you want to watch that. But this game is a multiplayer only version of the real-time strategy game called Spellforce Free. This game is a ton of fun, super in-depth, and also has a great amount of reviews, and I'm bringing it up now as it's also available on the Epic Games launcher. While most people, myself included, are still playing their free-to-play games on Steam, quite a few people are now moving over to the Epic Games launcher, especially because it has Fortnite, but also a ton of other really good free-to-play games.